Greetings, midnight travellers. The time is now 12:25, and so at the midnight hour now we summon the Dark Lord himself. Join me now, midnight travellers, in raising the Dark Lord. Repeat, Dark Lord Ozzy. Dark Lord Ozzy. This is Black Sabbath. It's not actually the witching hour globally at any one point ever, is it? Because of time zones, the sexist wally mums.
Gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields of bodies burning, machine keeps turning. Death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds. Oh, Lord, yeah. darkness world stops turning. Ashes where the body's burning. No more war pigs have the power. And as God has struck the hour, day of judgment God is calling. On the knees the war pigs crawling, begging mercies for the sins. Satan laughing spreads his wings. Oh Lord, yeah.
Dark Lord Ozzy. There. One of Sabbath's finest. And so, Midnight Travellers, what to do about the ongoing issue of sexism within the supernatural. Bear in mind that the only magic to practice is spelled M-A-G-I-K, and it is perfectly natural. Now, there is a different form of magic spelt with a curly k, M-A-G-I-K. That is unnatural, you see. There's natural magic and then there's unnatural magic. Just to clue you up, this is coming from the Warlock of Ockenden. I know whereof I speak. There is a natural magic and there is an unnatural magic. Now, natural magic can only come to its bearer through Mother Nature. Born on the breeze, perhaps, or soft underfoot, or the smell of a lawn, or the touch of a tree bark. That's natural, that's Mother Nature's magic. And that can be harnessed for the power of good. Everything else, most especially the occult, but everything else is utter nonsense, people. Wake up. 2,000 plus year old sacred texts. What, at midnight? Are you expecting me to believe these fairy stories are coming true? This is the end of the world. Well, if it is, it's brought about by mankind's evil. Do not blame some dickhead in rouge with a forked tail and a forked tongue for what? Coming to life and telling you to be naughty. That's the defence plea of a psychopath. And for that matter, my head shrinkers, my psychiatrists. I've had a Church of England psychiatrist, I've had a Muslim psychiatrist, and I have had, well, I would have been lucky to have had a Hindu psychiatrist. Let's just say this. You expect me to be diagnosed as delusional when you pray? You want to go picking around in my brains? I think that makes you psychiatrists kin weirdos. Did you know 50% of psychiatrists prescribe themselves the same medications that they prescribe their patients? Yeah, opioids, calmers, mother's little helpers. Can't get through the day without rattling like an advent calendar. That's my psychiatrists, my so-called superhero psychiatrists, who like to think picking around in a man's brain is not a slightly perverse thing to want to do, which it is. FYI, psychiatrists. You want to know the depths of the depravity of a man? Well, then judge him by his actions, not his thoughts. Do not attempt to decipher a man's thoughts, because you're likely to not like what you bloody find. You judge a man's evils on his actions. You judge a man's goodnesses on his actions, his deeds, not his words, most especially not his thoughts. Because if we all laid bare our thoughts, there would be blue bloody murders every day. So this is a shout out to psychiatrists everywhere. Check yourselves before you wreck yourselves, you sorry lot. Okay, on to new business for Not the Witching Hour. In a previous podcast, Oddcast, I apologise, drop the P. In a previous Oddcast, I began to discuss the nature, root, derivation and inspiration behind the literary word Quidditch. And now seems a very appropriate time to pick up that baton or wizardy wand. Is it wizardy? Harry Potter and his wizardy world, is it? Because I believe you'll find that Tolkien knew as well as anyone and everyone, Joe, that the actual literary word is wizardry. Okay? For the record, break the word Quidditch down into its two component parts and try not to overreact, witches. Oh, warlocks. Oh, warlocks. So we've got some upset witches, non-existent witches, warlocks. They're not going to want to break down the word quid and itch, are they? When a lady begins to talk about her quid itch, one starts to wonder if she's a little less than a lady, perhaps. Oh, methinks the lady doth protest too much. Oh, okay, JK. In for a penny, in for a pound. So, if most first novels are meant to be autobiographical, we picture Jo Rowling as a struggling single mother author, desperate to provide for her daughter and seize a publishing deal. Living up in Scotland, when you say Quidditch in Scottish, it's got an even more Mark. Oh, Mark. I've got such bad Quidditch, Mark. We got any of that good smack left there, Mark. I've got such bad Quidditch, Mark. I mean, I'm not suggesting for a second that J.K. Rowling is a smackhead, but she's most definitely a raving, raging capitalist, isn't she? What other fantasy series of books, any other series of books has so much of its action take place within a bank, for example? And so we look at the evidence, Jo Rowling, that in the first one, where you vilify a turban wearer, in the first one, how long we got in Not the Witching Hour? 15 minutes left to dismantle the myth that Hogwarts is a good school to send your little children to. Because JK has got your little children buying jelly beans that taste of bogies. JK has tricked your children into crunching into chocolate frogs. Ugh. And how do we know that JK has tricked us? Because she is not practicing wizardry. Apparently, JK, remember the natural magic, unnatural magic thing I said earlier? JK channeling pig Latin has tricked her readers by wizarding, an unnatural form of magic. An imposter, the nemesis of natural magic or wizardry. Joe, I'm here to school you in the difference. Call it semantics. Well, let's go back to the matter in hand. In the first one, Dumbledore and his sexuality aren't an issue. As the books got fatter and more self-indulgent, Joe Rowling decided to make the decision to make Albert Dumbledore, whatever his face is, to make him gay. Sadly, for J.K. Rowling, subsequent to drawing in the rainbow audience, the rainbow crowd, and making a few more extra billions out of the LGBTQ plus crowd, she would later go on to show her hand and her true nature and lay into Boy George online. Now, Joe, I've written a book myself and have a degree in English literature and investigative journalism. So please don't mistake me for some inkling that you can just stamp on and dismiss. Because when you turned on young Emma Watson and the papers published your tirade, your 750 plus overindulgent, bloated, self-entitled opinion, BT dubs, if we're all entitled to an opinion, Joe Rowling, with your Quidditch. Ugh, Mark, how is your cursed child? By the way, Joe, still near Daddy? That wind's got near Daddy. Don't you mention your absent father's name, you cursed child. Have my Quidditch back. So, Joe, listen up. If you've got a problem with Boy George, then I've got a problem with you. I am here to destroy you, Joe Rowling. You owe the world's children all their money back because you have treated them not only with disrespect, but she has blatantly called us all galls or mugs. In essence, I don't mean to be the snitch, Joe. Where did snitch spring from, Joe? I don't mean to be the snitch, but the word is wizardry. Proving that wizarding is a nonsense. Hag and rid. Look at the base root and inspiration behind the meaning behind the word hag and rid. He's neither a woman nor undesirable, and yet his name denotes and indicates an perhaps inner authorial hag which she would like to be rid of. On to the phallic symbol that is a wizard's wand. Now, if you need a demonstration of how a wanky wizard uses his wand, and only wanky wizards use one, only wanky wizards wave wands. Gandalf, you'll not forget, had a staff, ladies and gentlemen. Gandalf had a staff. Only wanky wizards wave wands. Because phallically, within the framework of the story, a magical wand and its magical discharge, when fought between two males, becomes a very symbolic and phallic issue. I'm sorry to Dan Radcliffe and Rupert Grint and Emma Watson for being sucked into what is, you have to ask yourself this question. Just because it's popular, does it make it right? And sometimes things that are popular aren't always right, kids. And sometimes things that are right aren't always popular. On that note, we'll come back and we'll look again at the work of J.K. Rowling and we'll question its literary merit. At 5-1, Joe Rowling, you can call me the Witchfinder General. And your card's marked.